Universal health care is a system where we remove the for-profit middlemen in between us and our doctors. It is a government-funded, not government-run healthcare system. We are not looking to have a healthcare system, even though it is acceptable and comparable in other parts of the world. But this is the United States of America. This is the capitalist dream, if you will. We're not telling doctors that they can't make money. That's not what CalCare is. That's not what Whole Washington is. That is not what the New York Health Act is. That is not what Medicare for All is. It is the removal of the for-profit middlemen in between us and our doctors who do not do anything to improve healthcare outcomes. Nothing. They make it worse. They figured out a way to rip you off. And they've been ripping you off for generations. And I think most people know that now. I don't think most people are as naive about it as they once were. I think they always suspected, well, it's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Maybe if we did this, it would get better. That's why a lot of people are always moderate, if not outright pragmatic about what they think the solutions need to be. Well, we just go a little bit further in this direction, we might be okay. If a little bit further in that direction, we might be okay. No. Aetna doesn't have any reason to exist. Cigna has no reason to exist. United Healthcare has no reason to exist. Blue Cross Blue Shield has no reason to exist. And as far as Pfizer, as far as Merck, as far as any of those big pharmaceutical companies are concerned, they have every right to make medicine. They do. And they have every right to make money. But they do not have a right to price gouge the American people. Our current system allows it. And that's why I do want to transition into an issue that I saw some very disturbing responses this week. You know, there's a lot of people who are really fed up with capitalism, and rightfully so. The system sucks. And this is not the form of capitalism that I think anybody would normally agree with, because it's not a good system. But right now, the system is falling apart. And it's a question of how it's going to completely collapse, because that's where it looks like we're heading right now. When you think about the system failing the way that it does, and this assumption that anybody who's rich, especially anybody who's a billionaire especially, doesn't have a conscience and doesn't really care, I don't agree that it's not possible for somebody to actually do the right thing. What I do believe is that they are going to always use the capitalist system to their advantage if they can figure out a way that actually does benefit the masses. And that person, of course, is Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, who I happen to like, not just because I'm a huge basketball fan, was very happy for him when the Dallas Mavericks beat the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals in 2011. Got to put that out there. But, you know, Mark decided that he wasn't going to rest on his laurels anymore. And you know why Mark is doing what he's doing, starting a company called Cost Plus Drugs? The reason he's doing it is because he knows the system's failing. And he knows something has to be done. Otherwise, the party's over for even people in his class. Because they're usually the first ones who get targeted when the whole system falls apart. So what does he do? He's starting his own pharmaceutical distribution company at very low prices. He's going to disrupt the market. And he's going to drive other prices down in other industries. It's going to happen. Now, is it going to be the end-all, be-all? I don't know. But I'm excited about what he's doing. I don't remember the exact name of it, but there is a pharmaceutical drug that deals with leukemia that right now on the market is price gouged at approximately $10,000 a month. Yeah, that's right. I'd like to know who can afford $10,000 a month for life-saving medicine. Less than 1%. Mark Cuban is selling that leukemia life-saving drug on his website, costplusdrugs.com, for $50 a month. You think that's not going to disrupt the industry? You bet your ass it will. And that's why no one's really talking about it. Because let's be honest, it's kind of going to take somebody at Mark's level to basically sound the alarm. That's really what it's going to take. It's going to take somebody at his level to basically say, wake the F up, because we're in big freaking trouble right now. You guys may not see it, but it reminds me of what happened with Bernie Madoff. I guess at this point, it's about 13 years ago now. There was one gentleman, his name's slipping me, but he's from Massachusetts. His name was Mark something. And he was the one person who was looking at the financials regarding the way that Madoff's hedge fund was being operated. And he said, this doesn't make sense. This is a Ponzi scheme. He's not investing in anything that's having a real return on investment. He's just putting money out and money's coming back in. And so what the hell's going on here? And of course, in that class, no one wants to talk about it because they pretend like it doesn't matter, because they know that it's socialism for the rich and rugged individualism for everybody else. But of course, Madoff ended up losing a lot of money for very rich people, and he bit the bullet as a result. But people knew what was going on. They knew. They didn't do anything about it. Mark Cuban is in a unique situation right now where he knows that what is going on is serious business. If he didn't think that we were not in a desperate situation, there is no way that he would do this. He follows trends. That's what he does. Mark Cuban is one of the most savvy innovators I've ever seen. Does he hit it all correct? No. But you know what he has? He has a conscience, and that matters a lot. He's in a position in society where he doesn't have to care about anything. I mean, the guy was already worth a couple of $1 billion prior to his ownership of the Dallas Mavericks. He's probably worth at least $4 or $5 billion now, thanks to that. Like I said, he's somebody who really doesn't have to care one iota about anything. He can live high up on the hill, and no one can touch him. But much like FDR was a class traitor in his day, that is exactly what Mark Cuban may potentially become. And the one person who I have to call out in this instance, and I don't like calling people out because I hate the drama. I can't stand it. It's one of the things that we have no time for. We really don't. But the one person who I have to say really irked the hell out of me was Anna Kasparian of TYT. The way that she went after Mark, suggesting that what he was doing wasn't even good at all, was actually a bad thing. I don't know who you're trying to cater to or who you think you're appealing to, but that is a horrific job. At least Mark is trying something. Because if you look at what happened today in California, where you live, if we're going to wait on elected officials to get ish done, we're going to get nothing done. And this planet's going to burn. This is one of the reasons why the presidency, the executive office is so important right now. We have a broken legislative branch of government. We do. The goal is not to get anything done. And the only time you get policy done is if it's a complete corporate giveaway, like the infrastructure bill actually is. And so when people are out there touting the infrastructure bill, again, I'm just glad I'm not an elected official because I would never be able to sill such a hill of bullshit. But I guess that's part of the job. You got to defend your side, make them look good. But again, what Mark is doing with cost plus drugs, it's an absolute good. I cannot thank him enough for what he's doing.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.